All right, I have a few things on my mind. Um, I've been going over some stuff in my head and like what has gone on with me for several years. Um, it's so hard to talk about for some reason. Um, there have been times when I've been like hypnotized, and I don't think it's a good thing to hypnotize somebody if they have psychological problems already. Uh, I don't think it's a good thing to forget um, bad things that may have happened or what you're aware of could happen. Um, I have a lot on my mind that I can't like get out of my head for some reason. It's really frustrating because sometimes I feel like I do and say the wrong things to people, and I feel like somebody has influenced me to be that way. Like to shut out people that care about me, that have always supported me, that love me, and accept a stranger as like my support system, which is really freaking weird. Um, I have nightmares a lot, and I don't know. Sometimes they seem so real, like something's happening while I'm sleeping. I don't know. It just seems very vivid, like more than a dream. It's like a fog. Um, Anyways, I would like to talk about a couple of books I got yesterday. Um, this one is something I've been dying to read. I read The Lion's Game, which is really good, and they say this is kind of based on like true events, so I am really into it. Uh, it's supposed to be fiction, but it's more like psychological thriller type of stuff. Um, and then I've got, for some reason, I bought this Emotional Blackmail When the People in Your Life Use Fear, Obligation, and Guilt to Manipulate You. Um, the funny thing that's been going on lately is like every time I talk to social workers at hospitals and stuff, I let them know that I'm looking for therapy, like trauma therapy, to deal with like the facts of my life and not to like push them out and make it seem like it's not real, or like I don't want to trust people who aren't safe. So I'd rather be able to accept that some people are bad people and protect myself from that, you know, instead of thinking uh, bad people are good people. It's really stupid. Um, I watched this documentary a lot about Britney Spears and her family and stuff like that. And I know that a lot of people think that she's, if it's called For the Record, and the people, I read her mom's biography called Through the Storm, and it talked about this guy that was her manager, tried to drug her, stuff like that. His name was Sam Lufty or whatever. And her mom talked about it in the book, and it's really interesting. And I watched the documentary a lot. I don't know why, because I think like the whole I think people don't understand when wrong people are trying to control your life. I have a weird memory of like my first job. I was about to leave and go to another job. And when I finally did quit, my manager, I was only 18, 19 years old. My manager, who was in his 40s, hit on me. And he's like, well, now that you don't work here anymore, and, I'm not going to get in trouble for doing this. I'd like to take you out on a date. And I was like, you're creepy. So, what's weird is that these social workers and stuff always recommend rehab and all that. And I'm like, but I'm not a drug addict. I'm trying to tell you I need like to go to therapy for PTSD and stuff. I don't have an addiction to anything. And I looked up what goes on in South Florida of these like rehab houses, and I've been in those halfway houses before. They got shut down for human trafficking and insurance fraud. They were prostituting the girls. So I don't trust people like that. I don't think it's normal to live with strangers. I think it was weird when I lived in New York with a bunch of girls and they had these relationships that I thought were not good. It seemed like that was how they were paying their rent. I left as soon as I could. I hid all the time. And, people didn't understand it. They're like, why aren't you, doing what we do? I'm like, you're a junkie and a hooker, in my opinion. Like, I don't know why you think this is okay. So I was always the type to hide, if I had a boyfriend, he was usually my age. And it was like a normal relationship. I would never date somebody fucking 20 years older than me or from another country or some rich guy or whatever the fuck. And like, honestly, what's weird, like my last relationship, we had a baby together and we still get along and stuff. And he brought me this TV and hooked it up and stuff. Like, he was good with electric stuff. And my roommate fucking broke my TV when I was watching the Britney Spears documentary. And it's just like, I don't know. I'm trying not to be freaked out over my life, but I can kind of relate. I know they're all celebrities and whatnot, but like, I think if I let people manipulate me, I would end up in that world, which I never wanted to be in. I don't know how. I've been around people like that, but I was just doing my job, like whatever. I don't name drop with celebrities, but it wasn't my goal in life to be a groupie. You know what I mean? Like, so even now, just no. My dream within the last 4 years was to have a family of my own, because that's what all my cousins did. Everybody in my family got married. I never did. I don't think it's normal to not be married and have kids. I don't think it's normal to live with strangers. I think at some point in my life, I got brainwashed for like, to believe that's normal. I can understand if you're in college. Like, in college, I lived with a girl. I had a girl roommate who was a little bit younger than me, and we just minded our own business. And she did her work, I did mine. We paid the rent. We didn't talk to each other unless we were bored. We weren't friends. Like, but to live with dudes or hookers or crackheads, or I just don't know. I really don't. And I think I've been incredibly cruel recently. Like, just all this stuff is spewing out of my mouth, like meanness towards my family. And then I showed up, I'm like, you know what's weird? Like, I've never done that in my life. I don't know why I'm being such a jerk. But I think it has a lot to do with hypnosis. And I like remember being hypnotized. And I think it's phony baloney. It's really bad. And I think it's total crap. So, anyways, I don't like my situation. I think I'm smarter than this. I hide. That's all I can say is I freaking hide. When I just just yuck. So, I don't like being pressured to change my lifestyle either, cuz I'm not a child and you're not my family. Like, my family doesn't care what I do. As long as I'm not breaking the law and or getting hurt. What do you care, you know? Um my ex-boyfriend takes care of my son, which is awesome. He filed for custody and I didn't contest it because it's like a good thing, I think, when a dad steps up to be a dad. I don't think that's crazy. I think it's like, thanks for giving me a break. It was really hard to help with my nephew for years. So it's like, oh, like, it's not a bad thing. And I get to see him whenever I want around in a safe environment. I don't have to struggle as a single parent. Like, honestly, none of this makes any sense to like freak out or be mad at people when they're doing the right thing. I just don't get it. So, anyways, I was being super mean, and my dad's like, well, he don't want you here for Thanksgiving. And I was like, well, we'll see about that. So he's like, never mind. I went over and I got him coffee and stuff because I was being crazy. I was calling from the hospital and all kinds of stupid stuff was in my head. I was being crazy. And I hate it. I don't like when I feel like somebody's manipulating me or controlling me or anything like that. And it's weird when somebody tries to step in and be my dad. I'm like, you're not my dad. This is weird. And it bothers me a lot. So, anyways, I usually try to tell somebody. Speak of the devil, he's calling right now. So I'm gonna totally listen to the fight song from American Gangster and like, just kidding. Bye.